Today I'm reviewing yet another new GMRS radio, the Baofeng UV9G GMRS radio, fresh from China. Box is a little bit banged up, so we'll see how rugged this radio is. This is yet another new GMRS radio, new to the market, FCC Part 95E compliant for use on GMRS. You may have noticed there are a lot of new GMRS radios coming out lately. GMRS is becoming very popular. More and more people are using GMRS, and now you may ask, what about FM on CB radio? I'll get excited about that when I actually see it. FM on CB radio has not yet been approved by the FCC. It probably will be. It sounds like it will be, but nothing will happen until it's approved. Remember when the FCC approved a price drop for the GMRS license from $70 down to $35 over a year ago? That price is still not dropped. It's been approved. It's done. It just hasn't happened. So as soon as I have a CB, an FM CB in my hot, sweaty, greasy, burrito-covered hands, then I'll get excited. The UV9G costs $40. $40. That's pretty cheap. I'm not going to string it out. I like this radio. This is a nice radio. $40. Keep that in mind as I go over all these features and what a nice little radio it is. Now, no matter what, no matter how nice this radio is, there will always be some people that declare, oh, it's just a Chinese piece of junk. You know that those people are experts because they use the term, the expert technical term, junk. And although many of these certain people may deem this radio a Chinese piece of junk, this ain't no junk. $40. Baofeng did send me this radio at no cost in exchange for me telling you about it, because Baofeng knows that you, my favorite viewer, will want to know about it. And there are affiliate links below if you want to check out this radio on Amazon. The new Baofeng UV9G is a 5-watt handheld walkie-talkie GMRS FCC Part 95 blah 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 approved radio. That means it's got your 22 regular GMRS channels, 8 repeater channels, plus it's got several DIY channels. They call them DIY, do-it-yourself channels that allow you to add additional repeaters that are on the same frequencies as those first 8 repeaters, but with separate tones or different tones. A lot of the cheaper GMRS radios can't do that. It's a very nice feature if you use a lot of repeaters like I do. It's got, I'm just going to read through some of the specs before I show you. I'm going to take it out of the box. I'll show you all the bits that you get in the box. This is not an unboxing video because unboxing videos are stupid, but I'll show you what's in the box. I will debox the parts that are in the box, take them out of the box and show you. But before I do that, I'm going to talk about some of the specs. It is not a super heterodyne receiver. It is a SoC radio, which means all of the entire radio is on one chip, system on a chip, ROC, radio on a chip, ROC. So it doesn't have the same quality as some of the very expensive radios, which are super heterodyne receivers, which is just a better quality, better sensitivity receiver. This is not that. $40. 11 NOAA channels, also able to receive FM, dual receive. You listen to one channel on the top line, a second channel on the bottom line. It will listen to both at the same time. It does support split tones and also allows you to scan for tones. If you're listening to a channel, somebody's talking, they're using tones, it's got a tone scanning feature. On the subject of tones, I did notice that all the channels had a CTCSS tone on them already. Why, Baofeng? Why? Why would you do that? So as I was testing and playing with it with my other radios, I couldn't hear what anybody was saying because the radio was programmed with CTCSS tones on every channel already. It's not a big deal. You just go in and you turn off the tone for each channel, but that's kind of a pain. Why, Baofeng? Why? Why? You're so close to having a perfect radio, and it comes with this little inconvenience. Not a big deal, but supports both wideband and narrowband, is switchable between the two, although out of the box, mine, everything was set to narrowband, but easy to switch each channel between wideband and narrowband. The big feature of this radio, probably the most important feature for those of us that ever leave the basement, is that it has an IP67 rating. That means It is waterproof, true waterproof, not just light splash resistant like most other radios. Waterproof. We're going to test that. Okay, so when you buy your UV9G radio, UV9G, you will receive an owner's manual, well written, lots of information. It is 39 pages, very well written. I always harp on the user manuals when I do radio reviews because you can tell a lot about a radio by how much effort they put into the manual. No Chinglish here. Well written, good, information-packed user guide. You will receive a battery charger, and along with that battery charger, an AC adapter, which plugs in. This one's a little bit different than chargers I've seen. The plug is here on the top. I don't think I've had any chargers that are like that. It's a 2-pin charger, so it's not a smart charger. $40. We're not complaining. The light actually does work, changes colors when it's charging and charged. Many of the other cheaper chargers that I have don't do that. You will receive an antenna, which screws onto the top of the radio, and it is pre-tuned for GMRS. I don't know if you can see that or not. You will receive this handsome wrist strap for affixing the radio to your wrist. You will receive a programming cable. Most radios do not come with programming cables. Many don't. This one does. $40. Let's keep in mind this is a $40 radio. And because of the waterproofness, it's this special kind of connector. It's not the regular UV5R K-type connector. This radio is not yet compatible with Chirp. It probably will be soon. It's very easy to program but using the software is easier. You can download that from the Baofeng website. You will receive a belt clip for connecting to the radio, and it's the movie kind, not movie as in film, movie around type. Better design than most of the belt clips on most radios that I've seen. You will receive a battery. This is a 1800 milliamp hour battery. And the reason why you're here, you will receive in the box the Baofeng UV9G GMRS 5-watt handheld radio. I like this radio. So let's go over some of the features of this radio. Oh, we don't want to miss that. Starting from the top, got the SMA male connector. You've got your on-off here. It's got a nice little guard here so that when you're out adventuring outdoors, when you actually leave the basement, makes it more difficult to accidentally change the volume. And the volume knob is fairly tight, not the tightest knob that I've turned. Does have a flashlight, alarm button, status LED. On the side, you've got your push to talk, your 2 buttons. I don't remember what those do. When we turn the radio on, we'll see what those do. Nice keypad, nice feel to it. This whole radio has a nice feel. This does not feel like a cheap radio. This doesn't feel like a $40 radio. You've got your port for connecting the programming cable, and it's tight because it's waterproof. It's got this, you need a screwdriver to take that off. I didn't need to take it off, so I haven't taken it off yet. Ouch. And on the back, I already put on the little belt clip connector. I had to install that myself. So the belt clip goes on like that. So it moves about freely. In order to operate the radio, you must insert the battery. You want to make sure that that battery is in correctly to ensure water waterproofness. You install the antenna, thusly. Mine has a little bit of a curve to it. All right, let's power this bad boy up.
Channel mode.
So the screen, it's your standard screen. It looks very similar to most other $40 radios. When the battery is in, it's got that nice feel. As I mentioned, even better than when it's naked without the battery. It feels very good, sturdy. So you got your push to talk, you push the button, and then you talk. First button switches you to FM, does receive regular FM commercial radio.
Travelers who want to take a tour to Israel have lots of choices.
So I can keep up with Xenu and how many people he's stealing money from this week. Second button is the flashlight. I don't know if you can see that. I always make fun of the flashlight. It's stupid until you need it, and then you're darn glad you have it. It's got the standard
Menu.
Baofeng menus.
Squelch. Confirm.
Standard Baofeng lady voice. You can customize the backlight colors so that they light up when the radio does different things like receiving and transmitting. So if I transmit, you'll see it can change colors. It's got 3 different colors to choose from. It's got the 2 display lines so that you can monitor 2 different channels at once. So we've got channel GMRS channel 17 on the top and NOAA. This receives all 11 NOAA channels. It's listening to both at the same time. Now you might notice right there, it's lighting up, it's receiving something, but we're not hearing anything. And that is because, as I mentioned, this stupid thing, why, Baofeng, why? It comes with CTCSS codes already in it. So I haven't done anything on channel 17 yet, but it's already got a CTCSS code on. So I can't hear anything. These people are talking, I'm missing what they're saying.
Menu.
But it is easy to turn off. CTCSS, I don't want that on.
CTCSS. Confirm. CTCSS. Confirm.
All right, so now both codes are off. So now I can listen to the people speaking in a foreign language. So if you buy this radio, it's going to come preloaded with CTCSS codes. So you're going to have to turn those off if you want to actually hear what anybody's saying. Not a big deal, but again, why? Baofeng. So close to being the perfect $40 radio, and they had to go fuck it up like that. Wideband and narrowband selectable. Out of the box, everything is on narrowband. Again, Baofeng, why? Very simple to switch from narrowband to wideband. Generally on GMRS, you want to use wideband. So you've got the all the regular GMRS channels. Then your DIY channels 31 through 54, you can set with whatever repeater channel you want using whatever tones you want to use. Many of the lesser radios cannot do that. Great feature. That leaves you with 87 additional channels that you can program for scanning or listening to any UHF, almost the entire UHF and VHF band, all the way up to 854, is it 8? I think all the way up to 854 megahertz. So you can scan through almost everything. FM and AM, like airband. I think airband is AM, so it receives a lot. The manual says that this is a 5-watt radio. So let's put that to the test with my focus. Focus, you stupid. Focus. Handy dandy little power and SWR tester. I'm not going to test the SWR because, as I've mentioned, it's very difficult to accurately test the SWR on an antenna. It is tuned. It does say right in there that it is tuned for GMRS, so we must just trust that it will work fine. So I'm going to put my power tester on here. My handy dandy little power tester here is about $40. I'll put an affiliate link below. Best mini little tester I've used. I love this thing. It comes with a little 5-watt dummy load that comes on and off. So we're going to turn this on. We'll wait for the tubes to warm up on that. We'll go to channel 1. Let's go to low power first.
Menu.
Oh. Roger beep. It does have a Roger beep. Some of the newer radios do not have Roger beeps.
Confirm.
Low power. And we're on wattage. Let's see what we're getting on low power on channel 1. 1.4 watts.
Power. Confirm.
Now we're on high power. 4.0 watts. A little bit low. You will never notice the difference between 4 watts and 5 watts. Let's go up to a higher channel.
022. Confirm.
High power. 4.0 watts. Not quite the 5 watts that we were hoping for, but as I said, you're not going to notice a difference between 4 watts and 5 watts. What really matters is how far can we talk on it. So how far can you talk on it? We're going to do a simplex test, and then we'll check a couple of repeaters. So my friend Chris.
I'm ready to go whenever you are, sir.
Is ready to go whenever I am. My friend Chris is sitting in his living room 10.1 miles away. Almost perfect line of sight. There's some houses and stuff between us. I am at a higher elevation than he is by a couple of hundred feet. Let's see if he can hear me. All right, Chris, testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Do you copy?
If so, reply and give me a 3 count so I can see how you sound.
Reading you loud and clear, sir. 1.
1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
Copy that. And what kind of antenna are you using?
I am using a handy talkie with a
J-pole antenna.
$40 over 10 miles. I was actually pretty impressed that he was coming in so clear and we were able to hear each other 10 miles away. This antenna, he's got the bigger antenna on his house, 10 miles. Pretty good. So now let's go to some repeaters. First repeater, 30 miles away. I think it's actually 30.1 miles away. Line of sight, there's really nothing between here and there. And of course, that's a repeater. So it's got a nice, big, powerful antenna on top. But I'm still transmitting with just this. So I'm going to call out on that repeater. Of course, I'm sure you know how repeaters work. But if I hit it, the blue screen is set so that the blue screen will light up, meaning I'm getting that kerchunk or that kickback from it. I've already identified myself on the radio. So you sad hams, you don't need to leave a comment pointing out that you didn't identify your blah, 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 blah. Repeater check 1, 2, 1, 2. That repeater also has a Roger beep on it. 30 miles away. I've talked to a couple of people on this repeater. Loud and clear at 30 miles. 69 miles away. This next repeater is 69 miles away. Can this radio, the Baofeng UV9G, with this dinky little curved antenna, hit a repeater 69 miles away? I'm going to do the same thing. I've already identified myself. I'll call out. We'll look for that blue kickback or kerchunk if I'm hitting that repeater. Repeater check 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep. I knew it would work because I've already been talking on this repeater. 69 miles away. A lot of the radios I've tested can do this. This isn't a huge surprise that this radio can hit those repeaters, but it goes to show this thing works. $40. Now the moment that you've all been waiting for, the moment that I've been dreading. The water torture test. I have never intentionally put a radio or any electronic device in the water. So I saved it to last because I don't want to kill it. It's waterproof. It says it's waterproof. I'm going to turn the flashlight on. So if it dies, the little flashlight will go out, and I've set it to scan through all the frequencies, so we'll see how loud it screams as I lower it into the water. IP67 says it can go like 3 feet underwater for 30 minutes. Every fiber in my body is telling me to not do this. I don't know why. It should be fine. It's painful. It's scary. I think it might affect the receiving capabilities when it's underwater. So we're going to let this soak for a minute. All right. I cut the camera. It's been in there for 10 or 15 minutes. Still scanning. Still making noise. It has survived the water torture test. I don't want to say Chinese water torture test because somebody would probably leave a comment saying that's racist. I don't know how that would be racist. This is a Chinese radio, and that was a water torture test. So the Baofeng UV9G radio, $40, might be my new favorite radio. Don't tell anybody. If you've got questions about this radio, leave a comment below. Stupid questions, not stupid questions. Dickhead comments. Let's be clear on dickhead comments. If you're going to be a dickhead and think you're going to be a little smartass by leaving a dickhead comment, think twice, because it will become pinned at the top. If you just say something stupid or inaccurate, that might get pinned too, just so we can all see how stupid you are. So think twice before leaving a comment. I'll try to answer any questions. If I'm not able to, somebody else will come along and they will try. Bear in mind, they will probably get it wrong. Thank you for watching. And if you want to see the full version of this review and the water test, just check